Hi guys, I got a big box and it's from Armour. So, you know me, I don't do long unboxings, but I'm going to whip this out of the box. Not going to keep you in any suspense, and if you haven't figured out what it is yet, there's a few clues knocking about. So I'm going to whip this open and let's get into it. Sales invoice. There, keep it. I don't want to look at it. Don't need that. And there we go. Limitless 1/7 Armour. You've all seen one of these before. I'm a little bit late to the game. I know everyone's seen these boxes before and everyone's seen the Limitless before, but I was never going to get one of these and I changed my mind. I totally changed my mind. So I'm going to go into that while I get it out of the box. I'm not going into what's on the box. I never do. Let's just get in and have a look at it. Don't need that. Bag of stuff. Bag of stuff. I think everybody knows what's in here, don't they? But we'll have a look. We'll have a look in a minute. This is what we want to see. A few cheeky clips. Lovely. Let's just stand back and have a look at it. What a beautiful bit of kit that is. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And really big as well. Really big. A lot bigger than you'd expect. It's I'll put something on there in a minute for a comparison, but yeah, it's really big. Feels ever so smooth. Feels really smooth. So, why have I got one of these? Well, I was never going to get one. I was going to get an infraction, but the more I looked at it, the more it didn't make sense to have an infraction. With all the stuff it's got with it and how much it costs, it just didn't make sense. So, I've got spare bits for all these cars, and it just made sense to build whatever I want out of the Limitless. And these were really hard to find as well, really, really hard. They were getting really hard to find. So I was kind of getting stuck where if I wanted something, I was going to have an infraction. UK price, £700, £699. Just didn't want to pay it, just didn't want to pay that price. So I figured my ideal truck or car, whatever you want to call it, would be the infraction as a roller. Now they don't do that. So I thought, well, hold on a minute, let's just get a Limitless. Let's just get a Limitless and let's just bash it like a street basher. So this is the plan for this. This is not going to be an all-out speed truck. I'm not interested in that. I've got nowhere to do it in the UK. I live right out in the sticks. There's just nowhere to do it. But I have got car parks. We've got car parks I can use at night, and this is going to be a whole truckload of fun. Especially after having the Typhon out, which I've just converted to a street truck. This is going to be awesome fun. Now I'm going to, let's have a look at it. Let's get into it, see what it's all about. Never seen one before, so this is all new for me as well. Oh, weird, no steering servo. That's obviously because it's a roller. But my first thing I noticed, and what I can't tell from looking at pictures, is how much ground clearance it's got. So I was expecting this to be sort of sitting like that. This has got a fair chunk of ground clearance, which means I can run it the way I want to run it. I want to street bash it, so this is awesome. Let's have a look. I'll spin it round. It really is an awesome looking bit of kit. I think you have to see one in person, possibly, to really see what they've done here. It's an awesome looking car. It won't actually fit on the bench. That way it's actually overlapping the bench. So let's get down here. Let's get into what's going on. What have we got? So the body's ever so thick, much thicker than any other Armour I've got. Yeah, that's a nice body. It's very thick, very, very nice. Put that down there. So what we've got is an empty canvas to do whatever we want with, which is exactly what I'm after. Totally what I'm after. So we've got two big ass battery trays. We've got space for the motor, which is not there obviously. Space for the ESC, and we've got the servo horn all ready to go with to put a servo in it. So I've got a Kraton that I'm breaking a Kraton down, and everything that comes out of that is going to go into this that I need. So I've got a BLX 6S system, I've got a nice 20 kg servo, obviously we've got the motor with the system. My batteries will all fit, 6S. I am actually going to put a diff in this because These come with a spool in them because they're mainly used for speed runs. But the only real difference between this and the Infraction is that this has got a spool in it and the Infraction's got a diff in it. Now, I think the spool on these, the actual spur gear on these is quite small for the high speed. So I've got exactly the same size as standard Infraction spur coming. I can fit that to the diff that's coming out of the Creighton, which is almost new, and I should be good to go really. So apart from that, it's a radio system. Radio's a weird one because these trucks are coming with Spektrum systems these days. I think everyone knows how I feel about these Spektrum radios, but only the lower end ones. I've never used a high end one. And so the last thing I was going to do was put a Spektrum radio in it. After having the standard Spektrum radio, the DX2E I think it's called or something, the one that they're putting in their RTRs nowadays, and switching back over to Tactic, I was never going to put one of those in it. So the fact it hasn't got any radio gear is really good because I'm not going to end up getting stuck with something I don't want. But what you do need, and funnily enough I am going to go with Spektrum, is they do a higher end DX5C I think it's called, and that's a multi-model radio. What I am going to need is a receiver with AVC in it. So I need AVC because I don't think I'll be able to keep this driving the way I need to without AVC. Now that is a form of, it controls essentially the steering. So if you steer, it keeps it in a straight line. The Infraction comes with it as standard, and it also makes it easier to drift about as well. So you won't spin out so easily if you're drifting about, which is exactly what I want to do. Now, if I'm going to do that, then I may as well put the AVC receiver that they come with. There's no problems with that receiver, it's good. It's expensive, but it will hook up nicely with the DX5. That's the plan for the radio and receiver. Gone through what I'm going to do with the batteries. I've already got batteries. I've always got 3S batteries knocking about, so plenty of those, no need to worry there. Nothing else to change, but what I am planning on doing with this is making a kind of hybrid out of it. So I don't just want this to be a limitless, because I wanted an Infraction all along. What I'm actually going to do is kind of have two cars out of one. I'm going to have this so I can convert it into an Infraction at any time. So I've got body posts coming to fit the Infraction. This is a case of getting rid of the bodywork to swap it over. I should be getting a clear body, so a clear Infraction body, and the plan so far is to hydro dip it. So I fancy a really cool hydro dipped type body for the Infraction. Apart from that, there's not many components you've actually got to change to swap them over. Once this is built up, I'm not going to do it until it's built up, so I'm going to break down the Creighton first, then I'll sell off what I don't need off the Creighton. There's a ton of bits that go with it. I'm going to sell it as a kind of sliding chassis with whatever's left. So yeah, I'll sell that on, use all the bits I need for this, but this will be great fun in my late night floodlit car park. And I've got a whole bunch of guys to run with. Everybody's looking for people to run with. So yeah, it should be great fun once it's all set up. Now that's how I want to get it set up straight away. The long-term plan is going to be a bit more than that. I'd like to take my first step into ATES. So I'm looking at a Max 6 ESC and also a TP motor, a nice big TP motor in there to run ATES. Not really just for speed, just because I want to do it, and I want it to be really quick when I want it to be. So yeah, it'll be my first little affray into ATES. I'm looking forward to it. Other things I've got coming, I've got wheels and tyres that are going to need to be spared. So I've got a feeling I'm going to go through a lot of wheels and tyres with this thing, because I'm going to do a lot of drifting in it, and I've seen people kill these tyres in just sort of nearly one bash or two bashes. So GRP do tyres for it, wheels and tyres. Found some I like. I don't like the white wheels. I'm not a fan of white wheels on these trucks. I don't know why, but they do a nice dark wheel with a nice tread on it, and they do slicks as well, so they'll be really good for drifting. So yeah, that's the plan, guys. Tilt it up, and I'm not sure if you can really see how big this thing is. I'm going to get my Typhon and see if I can fit them next to it, because you won't believe how much bigger this is than a Typhon. So let's put the body back on. So it slots on. As far as what's in this bag, I haven't looked yet, but my guess is your standard armour stuff. There's, funny enough, I think there's some body posts in there as well. I'm not sure if they're the ones for this or whether they're spare bits. I'm not sure, spare bits. There is a pinion in there. Not sure what size that is. I'll have to look into what size it is because I need to run it with a slightly smaller pinion if I'm going to bash it. I'm going to need some smaller pinions, and my mate Taz is sending me some, so I should have plenty of pinions. There's a lot of body posts here. Not actually sure what they're for. I've got a set for the infraction coming. I don't know if they're the same. And just stuff you already have, stickers, a wrench. Right, so this is a look against the Typhon, and I'm hoping this comes out on camera, but this is a really big RC. It's a huge amount bigger than the Typhon. I mean, the Typhon, that's about back to back. I mean, it's a lot bigger. So this is going to be a whole bunch of fun going around a car park. So there we go, guys. There's Limitless. That's my plans on what I'm going to do with it. And really, I just wanted to quickly get it out, not make too much fuss of it. Just wanted to let you know what I was planning on doing with it. And there's going to be a whole series of videos following what's going on. So yeah, you'll be able to follow along. All the modifications get done to it. I'll do all my bashing videos as well. Like a lot of my other projects, I'll just follow it along. As I change stuff and fit stuff, you'll be able to see it. And yeah, I'm going to go from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is break down the Kraton and get the electronics ready to go in. So I'll be doing videos on all those things. So you better follow those along on the channel. I'm also going to give away a few mugs. I've got some mugs that I'd like to give away, so I'll be doing that soon. They're custom mugs, so I'll be doing that. But apart from that, I'm going to get into this and crack on. All right, guys, take care.